Hi there, my name is Sheila Potter, and I have been meaning to make this screencastify for some time to go along with a couple of workshops that I offered to teachers to learn a little bit more about Pixlr. I'm showing you right now a screen on my computer this is a folder on my computer where I've kept my graphics that I've made using Pixlr. It's a really neat product for allowing you to put images together with text, so you can use it to create whatever little learning messages or slides in PowerPoint or Google Slides, as you might like, for your students for teaching. But it's also a really great tool to teach them to use in order to help them create their own graphic design projects. And that's because it's free and it's online, and it's also very similar in functionality to Photoshop, which is the industry standard for graphic design. And I like to use it to put together different images that I find online just to inspire my students or get the conversation going in my Google Classroom. I really like nature, so I often use it to teach what little bits I know about some of the cooler creatures in our environment. But let me get to Pixlr. So to find it, you need to open up your web browser. I use Google Chrome. And if you just type PIXLR into Google Chrome, Google will find it for you. This is Pixlr Photo Editor and Design Maker. So it is a photo editing software, so you can use it to change photographs, but I like to use it to make collages and to add text to collages. So I'm going to create a new file. You can open a file that's already created, or you can create new. When I go to do that, I'm offered a bunch of different options, basically that have to do with resolution. So how many dots do I want to compose this image that I'm about to create? The more dots means the higher resolution or the crisper the image. So if I wanted something that I wanted to print off, I might go with an HD, full HD image. That way it would look good if I used it on paper. But typically what I do in here is create stuff for display digitally. So I'm going to go with web. And this would give me enough resolution to be able to use it in a slide deck or as a background to a website. And then I scroll down and click Create. Now, one of the projects you could potentially assign to your students would be to create a collage that represents who they are or something that they believe in. I recently found some really beautiful poetry that I thought I would share with you. So I'm going to create a little poster that has to do with that poetry. I already did a Google search on child with bugs, and I came up with this image here. You may already know that if you right-click on an image in Google and click copy, then you can take that image somewhere else and paste it. So I'm going to right-click again, and no, I'm not. I'm going to paste. There we go. So there's that nice image, a beautiful grasshopper in a beautifully dirty kid hand. Now that makes a nice background. If I wanted there to be a little more contrast between this image and the text that I'm going to add, then I can adjust my image. Adjusting brightness and contrast allows me to create a background that's a little bit less, contrasty, so that it's easier to see the text that I'm going to put on top of it. You can see how you can mess around with that, but let's just say apply. I also want you to notice that on the side here, you can see that what I'm doing is accumulating layers. So each thing that I add to this file is going to go in its own layer, and that will let me go back and edit that layer separately. Now I want to add some text. So I found the poem that I really like by someone named Nicolette Souter. May we raise children who love the unloved things. So I'm going to select, and I'm going to copy. And then I'm going to choose the text tool. And I want to, yes, add a text layer. And then I'm going to paste into that text layer. Now, in the next screencastify, please come back and have a look. I will continue.